Hi, I'm Shannon with Organizational Learning and Talent Development. Have you ever communicated with someone and despite your best efforts, you felt like that communication was not successful or could have gone better? Well, communication is a lot more complex than just the words we say or we write. So there's facial expressions, there's body language, there's voice tone. Those all contribute to the way that we communicate. And that can lead to miscommunications. And honestly, this is where communication styles come into play. People communicate in different ways, and that's where our messages sometimes can be misunderstood if we're especially reading into a facial expression or voice tone or something that may not necessarily be there. And one reason that we may be doing that is because we might be assuming that the receiver of our message has the same communication style that we do. So today I want to share or briefly talk about 4 communication styles that are represented in the workplace. And I also want to share strategies for how you can effectively communicate with the 4 styles and how you can best support your colleagues who have the different styles. And these can be implemented anywhere, such as an office environment, or whether or not you're working remotely, or if you're working outdoors. These are great for any setting. And if you're not sure what your communication style is, that's quite okay. Hopefully, if you listen to these communication style descriptors, you might get a better sense of what your style might be. So the first communication style that I want to talk about is the direct style. And these are our colleagues who are task-oriented. They're decisive, they're high achievers. They like to work single-handedly on their goals. They're very independent. They're also great during a crisis because they know how to get things done and to get people moving. So if you're wondering how you can communicate successfully with your direct colleagues, number 1, focus on business and stay on topic. Directs are goal-oriented and they want to deliver results in a timely and efficient manner. And so by adapting your style, you allow them to be able to focus on their goals and deliver great results for your organization. You also want to be factual, clear, and concise when you're delivering messages or communicating with your direct colleagues. This is especially helpful if you're partnering with them on a project or a task. Being clear and factual allows them to quickly understand your needs and how to support you and your colleagues. And just like all employees, our direct colleagues want to feel supported. And so one of the ways that you can do this is by creating or supporting opportunities that allow them to lead, formally or informally. And if you're not in a formal leadership position, it could be as simple as sharing ideas or inviting them to brainstorm with you. So the second style I want to reference today is the spirited style. And these are our colleagues who are relationship oriented. They're good at building alliances and they use relationships to accomplish work. They're also enthusiastic communicators who prefer to be around others and they don't mind being in the spotlight. They're also well suited for high profile positions and don't mind giving public presentations. So if you're thinking of ways to communicate effectively with your spirited colleagues, number 1, allow time for small talk before getting down to business. They're relationship oriented and they value opportunities to connect with their colleagues formally and informally. So you'll want to allow time for that. Also discuss and share ideas with them. Spiriteds are naturally good at generating ideas and they crave opportunities to share their ideas and finding ways to act on those ideas. So this is a great way to quickly engage them and to keep them motivated. And one way that you can support your spirited colleagues is by encouraging them to collaborate and network outside of their team. They enjoy being around other people, and so they naturally enjoy collaborating and building connections with others. So one of the ways that you can support them is by having them to partner on a project or presentation with someone outside of their unit or department. Of course, you'll want to get approvals necessary in advance before you do that, but it's a great way for them to, again, connect with others and also to learn more about the organization. So the third style I want to reference today is the considerate style. These are also a relationship-oriented folks and they value warm, personal relationships and they also have good counseling skills because they're perceived to be good listeners. Now, considerates prefer one-on-one communications and they're comfortable being in the background and they also enjoy teamwork. So if you're thinking of ways to communicate effectively with your considerates, communicate in a supportive and friendly manner. So just like spiriteds, our considerate colleagues are relationship oriented and they value warm and friendly interactions. So you'll want to start your conversations off with a friendly manner and take the time to connect with them before you dive into business. Also, show appreciation for their contributions and their accomplishments. They want to feel recognized and valued for the work that they do. And then if you're thinking of ways to support them, give them opportunities to support teammates. So for example, if you have a new employee on your team, it might be best to communicate or partner with that considerate and Ask them to help the new employee in getting acclimated to your culture. That's just one example there. So the last style I want to mention today is the systematic style. Our systematic colleagues are task-oriented and they place a heavy emphasis on accuracy and objectivity. They also make decisions based on facts and they attempt to leave the emotions out of it if possible. They're also good at data gathering and data analysis, and they're great problem solvers. And so some strategies for successfully communicating with your systematic colleagues include using a straightforward approach when you're communicating. They're task-oriented and they need to know what's expected of them at all times. And using this approach is going to allow them to quickly understand how to best support you and your team. Also, provide details and facts when sharing information. Systematics are analytical and they rely on data and facts to get their work done. And focusing on this area is going to help them to perform their best and to deliver optimal results. And then lastly, the way that you can support them is by giving them the freedom and the independence to work on tasks. They're excellent problem solvers, as I mentioned before, and they perform their best when they have a chance to really hunker in and focus on critical tasks. And so that means sometimes they need some downtime or some time behind closed doors to really focus and critically think about how they're going to accomplish their work. So I hope you learned a lot today about the 4 styles. This was a lot of information that I tried to share, and I hope you have a better understanding of yours. By following these simple strategies, I'm hoping that you're able to improve your interactions and communications with your colleagues. Thanks.